In this video, we are going to talk about Alloc AI Strategist Pro, which is your personal AI strategist to maximize marketing ROI. So we'll go through how it works. So what you're seeing is the interface, a welcome interface, where you can access both Strategist Pro as well as Attribution Tool. So before we go to strategist, let me show you this one, customize my setup. So for your company, you can specify, is it a B2B, B2C, what's the number of employees, what kind of industry you are, number of total amount in revenue in millions, and also annual growth. So this kind of gives a good overview of what your business is to the AI strategist. So I'll just save it as is and start interacting with the strategist. It had some history before, so that's what you see. But in your case, it will be, if you're starting new, you won't see any of that. So I will just initiate it. Sometimes you have to do it if the chat is getting stuck. So it has this information. It's asking, how can I help you? So let's start with maybe this one, the tougher one, which is help me interpret my attribution report, which is one of the key features of AI Strategist Pro. So I entered that. Then it's asking me, okay, to do that, okay, show me the attribution report. So if you have Alloc AI Strategist, attribution tool, you can create this report from it. But if you have a different attribution tool, you can perfectly use that and provide that report here. So I'm going to show, just provided a summary report here. By the way, you can also attach it to this using this plus sign, but I find that actually pasting it in the chat window works better in the chat interface. So I recommend doing that. So I'm going to provide this report. So it's giving campaign type, pipeline influenced. It's showing different campaign types like contact us, website assets, email communications, etc. And the attribution allocated to those campaign types. In this case, I used multi-touch attribution, which you will see more about when you use the attribution tool. Overall, there were $45 million that is influenced by marketing in this particular quarter. So that's what this report is about. Okay, so I enter this. So it will process that information. And then it will go to the next steps, which is essentially it's getting confused a bit on whether that what that report is. Okay, now it's asking, okay, it has the pipeline attribution. Now it wants the cost part of the ROI. And it will use both campaign program spend or marketing program spend, and as well as the headcount spend. So it is going to the first one, which is the marketing program spend. What was the total amount, and what was the how much is spent in corporate marketing, and how much is spent in paid search. I will discuss each one once I provide this information. It is asking for corporate marketing because corporate marketing, like brand, doesn't influence any pipeline directly, right? But it does impact. It does have positive impact on things like contact us, website contact us, even website assets. So in corporate marketing spend, which add up to 40, 480, 30% of 1.6 million, it allocates those amounts to campaign types that has got indirect impact on the corporate marketing spend has got an indirect impact on these campaign types. So to get the ROI, it is allocating that cost to those marketing or campaign types. Now, minus corporate marketing spend, the rest of marketing program spend, it allocates to various channels or campaign types based on the external expenses for those uh, campaign types. So, for example, in paid search, we provided 22% of campaign program spend goes to that. So that's what you see here, 352,000. And for the others, it's much smaller amounts, but overall it adds to 1.120 million, and total is 1.6 million. And the good news is this is an initial cut. You are able to download it and re-edit it and re-upload if you prefer, right? So you have the complete control on what the tool is using for in the end of the day after providing the initial draft that you see here. Now, for our part, let's go to the next steps. Proceed to headcount cost. So headcount cost is something unique to Alloc AI because most of the ROI by channel/campaign types don't account for headcount expenses. But as you know, about half the marketing department budget is for headcount. So without using that, ROI created just using program spend is a very incomplete picture. So we make sure that you also account for headcount cost by different campaign types. So let us provide the headcount information. In this example, the headcount is 40 people, and the period under consideration is 1 quarter. In fact, if you remember, 1 quarter is the pipeline attribution report that I had uploaded earlier. So I will enter that, and it will then allocate the headcount cost across campaign types using a different set of rules that we have we have trained it on. Essentially, if a campaign type is more resource intensive, more people involved, that will get more share of headcount cost. Overall headcount cost is 2 million. That is a 40 people times 50,000 per quarter. So that is the amount that you see here. And again, you can download it and edit it if you prefer, if you think that this is a bit off from what you think it should be. In our case, let's go to the next, proceed to ROI. The final ROI report is nothing but pipeline per dollar spent. And the dollar spent is program spent plus the headcount. So that gives you the real payback for $1 spent by the company. So let's go to the bottom. Yeah, 1.6 million, 2 million, 3.6 million is the overall expenses. By campaign types, you see the multiple, pipeline divided by overall spend. The contact us is the highest, 23.5. Then you see other ones like website asset and so on. Webinar, that's a good performing channel. Paid search here, it's in the bottom. In terms of pipeline attribution, it is decent, but when you account for cost, this is much lower than the average. Average, for some reason, is not showing it. It will be about 12.5 multiple, $12.5 pipeline for every dollar spent in marketing overall. So 8.2 is much lower than 12.5. So it is a low performing channel, and many people don't get it, that paid search has got a lot of expenses that makes it less attractive as a marketing channel. So you may be able to spend that money in higher performing channels like whether it's webinar, website asset, different kind of events. All is performing much better. So that's something you can do. And you can ask it to interpret the table accordingly, and it will give you a head start on what you want to do with these insights. Rather than going to interpreting, I will stop this example here. You can do it. And by the way, you can download this table also and make modifications and re-upload and ask it to interpret that version as well. Meanwhile, let me ask some other question. What should be our marketing program budget for next year? So it should account for the information, use the information we gave for the company. I would say use the company information you have. Sometimes it will require that extra prodding to make sure that it's using the information you gave earlier. So it's giving some recommendations. 800 people, 60 million. It is assuming a revenue target of 70.8 million, increase of 18%. So it's making some assumptions, quarterly facing. So you will be able to adjust this. I ask it to assume maybe a different revenue target, and in a different quarterly cadence. The program budget itself, you can dispute that. It looks low for the amount that it is revenue for that particular company. So it's something you can dig deeper on, but I will kind of stop here. This is a chat interface that you can kind of ask for more information and insights so that you can make the decisions. All right, thanks for listening.